this is a general reading for the sign of Leo. If you have Leo anywhere in your birth chart, please know that there is a message in this reading for you. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. Always practice good discernment. Follow your inner wisdom. Follow your inner knowledge. And sometimes you'll hear a message and it doesn't resonate with you right away. If that is the case, that's all right. Just know that Spirit will use any and all means necessary to get a message to you when and how you are able to receive it. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Leo. Thank you, Spirit. Also, Leo, this last quarter moon this month, or the last quarter moon this month, moves through the sign of Cancer. As that moon moves through Cancer, it will be shining lights on feelings and things having to do with home life. You may find yourself wanting to do maybe a final barbecue for the year, or finish up on some fall gardening. During this time, we may have feelings of melancholy. That is Spirit's way of guiding us towards learning forgiveness. Not only forgiveness of others, but forgiveness of ourselves. It is through this learning that we let go of feelings that no longer serve us. And when we let go of things and feelings that are no longer serving us, that is when we really gain a real honest sense of belonging. And look, we have the Four of Swords as the underlying message, the foundation of this reading. What are we thinking? What are we contemplating? What are we resting on? I sense that you're keeping something back. You're holding back words. You're holding back feelings, or someone is holding back words and feelings. Let's see how that plays out into the rest of this reading, Leo. And we start off with this beautiful World card. And the Hangman. And the Judgment. And fond memories of the past. The Dance of Life. A surprise offer, or you're wanting to take a risk. Invest in yourself. I think you're surprising yourself, Leo. You are wanting to take a risk. And in an investment. But I do believe that this investment is an investment in yourself. Perhaps you have a new idea, or something new that you've been wanting to try, that you've been kind of keeping it to yourself. You've been kind of keeping it hidden, and you've been thinking about this for some time. And perhaps the hold off here, or what's been slowing you down here, Leo, is that it's going to require you to come out of your comfort zone, or to think outside of the box, or to take a new action. Take a new action. Out of your comfort zone. And the saying that is coming to mind here is, if you've always done, or if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get the same results. So if you would like a different result, there is a different action that you will need to take. Perhaps you've thought on this long enough, and maybe the surprise is here, Leo, is there's going to be an opportunity of rising, or an opportunity to present itself. Almost kind of like that synchronicity, where things are just going to kind of make sense, and they're going to all line into place, where you know now is the time to take advantage of this. Now is the time to step out of the comfort zone and do something different than the way that you've been doing it up until this point. And to think outside your comfort zone, to think and move and behave differently than how you have in the past. Here in your home life, here in your private life, I see we start with a standoff. Moving forward. The Lovers and the Sun. Work and advancement in your career has been taking all of your time and focus. And it's been taking all of your time and focus, and someone is not sharing things. Someone is holding things in. And I think that that is causing a tension, that is causing a conflict. At home, or between friends and family. And I will say, Leo, there are times in life where it is good to step back, to take a time out, to kind of go within, to reflect. But I don't think that this is a time for that. Someone is withdrawn. And because they are withdrawn, someone is feeling rejected. Do not reject the efforts of someone trying to get closer to you. Part of this rejection, or it's not meant to be as a rejection. It's meant to be part of a self-protection. We don't have the words or we do not know how to put into words what the situation is, and because we're not able to put into words, we pull away. Leo, it is better in this situation to share incomplete thoughts, to share the words to the best of our ability, even if we do not fully understand them. And so honesty is always the best policy. And I'm not saying that someone has been dishonest here. What I'm saying is sometimes in an attempt to avoid perceived criticism, we will not share or put our thoughts and words into sentences here. And that is what's going on here, is that someone is having a difficult time putting their thoughts, their words, and their feelings into sentences to communicate those. And because that person is not able to communicate those, they're withdrawing or they're not sharing. And when I'm saying honesty is the best policy here, it's even if words come out jumbled, or even if the words are coming out and they're not making sense, they are helpful. And they are helpful to the person speaking them, and they're helpful to the person listening to them. It's only after those words come out and those thoughts come out, even if they're coming out jumbled or incomplete, that we're able to look at those and analyze them and reorganize them into words and sentences and thoughts that do make sense. But until they come out, until they are spoken, until they are written, they will not. And so many times when you're hearing tarot or horoscope, or if you're seeking advice, many times with that advice, it will be asking you to write it down, to write it down. So even if we revisit last week's reading for you, Leo, we'll see where I did ask to write three things down, to set your intentions by writing three things down. It's the action of writing those three things down, or writing those words down, that we're better able to sort through and make sense of those. And then I even believe I asked you to revisit that list every day from now until the full moon, as a means to look at and add to or adjust to those words that you have written down there. And that is the conversation, or very similar to the conversation or the talk that needs to happen between these two people. And I do believe that you are one of these people, Leo. I don't know which end that you are on, but it is only through the letting those words out and the evaluation of those words afterwards, and even speaking with someone like that, or listening to someone like that, and helping to develop clear thoughts, clear ideas, clear feelings. That is a bonding experience within itself. Final thoughts, final messages. Carefully guarded feelings. Carefully guarded feelings. And we're starting from a place of carefully guarded feelings. And why I'm saying that, Leo, if we look closer at this Knight of Cups, we can see that his steed is on flat, steady background, and he's moving into the mountains, and the mountains can symbolize the unknown. But if we look carefully at what is happening with this chalice, he is so focused on not spilling anything in that chalice. And in that chalice is water, or liquid, and when we're in the tarot, that can often represent feelings and emotions. And we just see this Knight of Cups here, carefully guarding feelings and emotions. And then we have the Three of Wands. And if we look closer at the Three of Wands, we see the Three of Wands looking to the future. And look, he's looking towards the future, and we have this beautiful, wonderful Ace of Swords. And that Ace of Swords is about words. And it's about knowledge, and it's about wisdom, and the gifts of knowledge and wisdom. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is about balance. And so, you know, knowing who to let in and who to share with is a difficult process. And knowing and balancing what we share and what we don't. I think at this time, Leo, the trick of it is to opening up to perceived criticism. And I say perceived here. And so I do not believe that it's really criticism. I think it's a perceived criticism, a perceived criticism from something that has happened to us in our past, but that is not the case today. That is not the case in this situation. And while it can be difficult, learning, and I think that that is the gift here, that Spirit is bringing in or making opportunities for, is learning to be able to take what other people are saying, not personally. And I know that that's difficult, especially when we're talking about our feelings and our emotions, and something that invokes a lot of energy with us or within us. But you can, and I see you will, develop the ability to not take things personally. And that is really what creates a good leader. And that is the type of person that people like to follow, are people who can let their thoughts, feelings, and emotions out and open themselves up to outside opinions, and to have that sense of vulnerability about them, and yet be able to accept perceived criticism that are perceived. I think that this is not criticism. I think that this is advice. Accept the advice of others. And so when we're accepting the advice of others, while we will and can and should take that into consideration, that is not the determining factor. That is not the deciding factor on how we're going to move forward, Leo. That is not the deciding factor on how we're going to move forward. And I don't think that that's going to be the deciding factor on how you are going to move forward. But I do believe that all parties in this situation have a need to be heard, and finding that balance of being heard. Thank you, Leo. That is the message that I have for you. If you would please leave in the comments section, what are you grateful for? And I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's, what are you grateful for? And so you have an inner strength, and I believe that you have an inner wisdom that you've been withholding from those closest to you because you're afraid of criticism. And I'm going to ask you to leave that in the comment section. Thank you. You have a blessed week.